Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. I'm making this a bit late, but yet still perfectly on time. These are what you're going to be looking for Counter-Strike performance when you're doing your Black Friday and or Cyber Monday shopping. So, CPUs, remember, right, first off, remember that Counter-Strike was created in 2012, and the engine that it's running on is since it's prehistoric basically, so you don't need top-of-the-line equipment inside your computer. Like your components, your PC components do not have to be amazing to run it well. If you're looking for processors right now for the best Counter-Strike performance, you want to go gigahertz over cores. You want to have a nice high single core clock speed instead of having like a ton of cores. Unless you're trying to do streaming or recording, you won't need those extra cores when you're running Counter-Strike. Now remember, this is just Counter-Strike specific. Other games do require more as they are more advanced. Now, graphics card. Once again, you don't need top of the line. A 970 or a 1060, anything in that range and above is going to run it perfectly fine. You won't have any sort of issues. You can run it on Ultra, even though I don't suggest running it on Ultra. You'll have no problemo. Now RAM, once again, doesn't really matter. Have at least 8 gigabytes. That's pretty much the standard these days, and it is fairly cheap now. Used to be more expensive. SSD, I suggest having it. It helps. I have all of my games put onto my hard, my actual 2 terabyte solid state, not solid state, hard. What's the other term? Internal? I don't know, but the one with the discs that has the thing that spin, all my games are on that, except for Counter-Strike. Counter-Strike I have on my SSD. I had some stuttering issues, and that resolved it. Now, this is where we get into the juicy shit. Keyboard. Doesn't really matter. I don't like the meshy keyboards where it's all, flat. I like having, the tactile response. I just typed all over my Word document and screwed myself up. We're fine. But I like having the tactile response so I know I can have more accurate key presses. Again, that's more personalized or up to your own opinion and how you feel, so it doesn't really matter. There's no one better keyboard than the rest. Mouse. Alright. I had 2 Razer Mamba tournament editions. Both of them ended up getting the laser would just mess up big time, and I could only move it left to right, or I could only move it up and down. And Razer Synapse is the worst software that I've ever seen in my life. So I switched over to a Zowie, the EC1A. Haven't had an issue with it. There's no software. It's a little plug and play. Logitech's also good. What you're going to want to look for gaming mice, or for a nice mouse for Counter-Strike is, what do I have written down? You're going to look for a wired mouse, or if you want to go wireless, I would suggest the higher end mice. Also, you have to take into account the weight of a wireless mouse because you're going to have batteries inside of it. I do suggest going in store to test out mice so you can find something that you are comfortable with before purchasing, or at least once you find something that you're comfortable with, finding those dimensions and then comparing mice to those dimensions. And I do, unfortunately, suggest looking for the mice that are branded, your gaming mice, because they will have better performance than your standard other mice. Gaming chair, don't need it, unless you want to, click heads better. What else do I got? Headphones, alright. I hate gaming headphones. I hate the idea of, just all gaming headphones are trash to me. I don't care. I got some nice Sennheiser HD 558s. They're about $100. They're probably cheaper than that now. I got them a couple years ago. I do listen to a lot of music, and these do, Sennheisers are known for their audio quality. I do hear a lot more in game than people that I play with here. I've gotten that, how did you hear that, bro? I've gotten that a lot of times, so I do suggest investing in nice headphones. I do feel that they are underrated in the whole scope of things. I feel that keyboards are more overrated than, whatever. Now, mouse pad, just get like a Steel Series QCK. They're like 15 bucks for the largest one. It's, you know, it's pretty standard. It's square. It's black. I don't know what else you want in a mouse pad. You can wash my mouse pads. I want to say mice pads. You can wash mouse pads. That's a thing. I've done it before. It actually helps. And then, alright, monitors. Monitors, lots of people get like screwed up on. There's 3 main type of monitor displays, like the actual panel that makes like the colors and all that. You have your TN panel, your VA panel, and your IPS. For the purpose of this video, the TN and the VA panels basically the same. Alright, they can run 140, well, like their colors aren't the best. I use a TN panel. Their colors aren't the best. They do 144 hertz pretty well, and they're cheap. IPS displays, most of the time, if you're finding a cheap one, it's going to be 60 hertz. They do have great color, so if you're doing picture video editing on the side, you might want to invest in one of those. But finding a IPS display that's 144 hertz is going to cost you a bit more than it would if you get a TN or a VA panel. Personally, so I've used a 21-inch monitor and a 24-inch monitor. I'm currently using a 24-inch monitor. I don't think I would ever want to go to a 27-inch. It's just a bit too large for me. Like already at the 24, I do have to kind of slightly turn my head to look at all the corners. A 27-inch would just be too large. So personally, I max out at the 24-inch. Again, I would go in person to a store, check it out for personal preference. But that's about it. Like, you can find a lot of stuff on the cheap, but you can also find a lot of stuff, especially around Black Friday and Cyber Monday, that is just trash, garbage that they're trying to get you to buy, and some people will get tricked into buying it. But yeah, I think that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you for watching. Safe shopping, and see you next time.